Hey guys, what's up? My name is Dan and welcome back to the channel. And how stressful was that game? Another stressful game, another Arsenal game. It's not an Arsenal game without a healthy dose of stress and terror. Look, full disclosure, I didn't watch the entire game. It was actually 11:30 p.m. kickoff on a Sunday for me in Perth in Western Australia, and I had a 6 a.m. shift at work the next day, and I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go watch this game. I'm gonna watch the last two games in the Champions League. This is the game, obviously, I can't really watch, I can't stay up for. It is what it is, whatever happens, happens, blah, blah, blah. So then, I woke up at like half past midnight, well, 20 past midnight ish, just randomly, and I was like, I'll just have a look, and it was half time, and it was 0-0, and I was like, it's not great, but we're not losing. So then I rolled over, went back to sleep, and I don't think I was fully asleep, because I heard my phone go off. It felt like it was only about 5 minutes later, but I heard my phone go off, and I'm like, I think that's, and I wasn't obviously fully asleep because I could hear it, and I was thinking to myself, well, it's probably something to do with the game, but I'll ignore it. And I ignored it for a few minutes. But I was like, screw this. I'm just gonna check. I can't sleep. I won't be able to sleep until I check. And it was the Trossard goal about an hour later. And I saw that it was like by the time I actually checked, it was like 85th minute. And I was going through all my friends' group chat. I'm like, well, bloody hell, this sounds like a massively stressful game. But Trossard scored, so I was like, cool. So I was like, well, you know what? It's 85 minutes or so. I'll watch the last 10 minutes or so, and then go back to bed for another hour or two. So turns out that was so stressful. Obviously, I was watching for about 2 minutes before West Ham got their goal, and it's like, oh my god, really? And then the whole VAR thing taking absolute ages, and the game didn't obviously finish until like the 101st or 3rd minute or something. And then by that point, I couldn't really get back to sleep. So I just ended up staying up. I got like 3 hours sleep, did the whole day at work, and then went to sleep as soon as I got home from work. But stressful lads. So we'll talk about the game. Obviously, I think West Ham had everything to play for. This is arguably on paper the hardest game that we had to play in the last three games. West Ham have got absolute everything to play for. They have to stay up if they want to obviously stay in the Premier League, and obviously they're really close with Spurs, who drew their game. So it's still going to go into the last two games of the season. Whereas Burnley are already relegated, Palace, they're going to be concentrating on the European Conference League or whatever final they're in. So it's a little bit of distractions for both of those teams. But West Ham, they had absolutely to play for everything to play for, and the fact they really got two shots on target in the entire game just tells you everything you need to know about this game. Struggling again to create chances, well, created some chances. We had 13 shots, but just two on target. They were just, they were just like, we can't lose this game, we can't lose this game, and they kept trying to counter us. David Raya had an outstanding game again, another clean sheet for him. Just world class goalkeeper, one of, if not the best goalkeeper in the world right now. 1-on-1 with him, and he saves a really great goal. Luckily enough, I wasn't awake to see that, which is brilliant. I said to my friends, I was like, don't care, take the piss out of me all you like, but I'm so glad that I missed most of that stress, because holy crap. And then Trossard gets a really great goal. Erdegaard influential on that, coming off the bench, and it's the time when our captain needs to step up, and he did, and he set up that really good goal. 1-0, great. And obviously, going to the Ray of controversy, I was going to swear then. Look, I'm not going to talk too much about it. The whole world has been talking about it this last week or two, last few days. Look, it was blatant foul. You can't obstruct a goalkeeper's ability to reach out his hands, and he would have done if he hadn't been held on to. He would have palmed that ball away, and the goal wouldn't have happened. So it's a foul. And VAR, and you can talk about the millions of other fouls going on in the box all you like, but that was the foul that prevented the goalkeeper from saving the goal, saving the shot, and that was the foul that counted. So blatant foul, blatant foul. Everyone's saying it's not. It's just, well, you're lying to yourself. Just delusional. The Arsenal hate now has reached delusional proportions. West Brom fan, I'm not even going to name him because I detest the guy so bad. I'm not going to give him any kind of publicity. But the West Brom fan on Twitter, that everyone, if you know, you know. Just an insufferable bloke. Even him, going ranting about how much he hates Arsenal and how much he was blah blah blah. It wasn't a foul, blah blah blah. They even gifted league title, blah blah blah. This is a West Brom fan, by the way, who hasn't been in the league for like God knows how long. Southampton fans piping up when they beat us the other week or the other month. Random weird clubs and they have their fans that they just want to start beefing with Arsenal, because if you hate Arsenal, if you want clicks, if you're into football and you're on football Twitter and you want clicks, just talk something derogatory about Arsenal and you'll get tens of thousands of likes. It's just, somebody said, hating Arsenal is a business now. It's not so much actual genuine hate. It's just a business. You want likes. You want those clicks. You want those feedback. Just talk shit on Arsenal, and it will work out for you. It's delusional. Everyone else is becoming everything that they think that Arsenal fans are: insufferable, delusional, weird, tinfoil hats esque. It's getting. I mean, it's been exhausting all season, but now it's just getting strange, man. It's just very, very odd. But it is what it is. It's something that Arsenal fans have to push it back against, and put up with, I guess, as well. And I had a Man United fan who's a really good friend of mine, actually, was saying, "Oh, AFTV are the ones that they make everyone hate Arsenal." I was like, dude. Rival fans love AFTV. Like, that's why AFTV are so successful, because they don't cater to Arsenal fans anymore. They haven't catered to Arsenal fans for a long time. They cater to the rival fans. Rival fans hate watch and love to watch, Arsenal fans meltdown on that channel. So I was like, dude, if you're using AFTV as a source for why the Arsenal fans are insufferable and why people hate Arsenal fans, then that's harming your argument, because it's the exact opposite. And that's how warped it is now. People think, oh, AFTV, that's why everyone hates you. No. You love to watch AFTV. Rival fans watch AFTV more than Arsenal fans do. Match-going Arsenal fans, everyone that I know that goes to the games regularly, hate AFTV and everything they stand for. It's just used as an example for rival fans to laugh at us. And that's how warped it's become. It's very strange. We're in a bit of an era at the moment where social media is taking a little bit of a sidestep into just weird, uncomfortable kind of vitriol. It's kind of odd, but anyway, I'm not gonna want too much more about that. Look, brilliant result, fantastic, much needed result. I was talking to everyone I know, like, the whole week leading up, like, getting to the final of the Champions League is great, but this West Ham game is almost just as important, because if we don't win that, you can argue, and they did, you can argue City will beat Palace, which they did comfortably. Palace's B team, because obviously Palace are concentrating on Europe now because they're like 15th or whatever. You always assume that City will win that game. There's 2 points. If we don't beat West Ham, if we draw against West Ham, then suddenly, it's very, very, very close, and obviously goal difference as well has swung back into Man City's favour. So it was imperative that we win this game, and we did that. And now it's on to Burnley. Burnley on Monday night. Yeah, Burnley early hours Tuesday morning, but Monday night, obviously. Local time, massive game again. They're already relegated. We have to be beating them at home. It would have been great if, Palace had beaten Man City, because then we could have won the league at home in this game. But it's not meant to be. It's fine. We kind of expected Man City to win that game against Palace at home. But this is what we got to do now. City beat Palace 3-0. I expect that result against Burnley. They're going to be enough. Look, every other team that's winning the league, if it had been any other team than Arsenal, they would be on the beach. It would be a comfortable win for the team playing Burnley, and that would have been it. But because it's Arsenal, Burnley are going to step up. They're going to play out their skins as if relegation was still on the line for them, and it's just going to be what it is. I mean, at home, I do back us to beat anybody at home, even though Bournemouth, but still Bournemouth are a bit of a different animal at the moment. They're doing really well. So, but I feel like we are more than capable of winning. We just got to beat Burnley, get that deficit back up to 5 points with one game left to go, And then it's obviously off to Palace after that, but we won't talk about that until the next video. But this Burnley game's huge now, man. It was huge anyway. Even if City had lost against Palace, it would still be a huge game. And that's how close it is now. We're so close, like we're closest than we've ever been under Mikel Arteta to win a league and a Champions League double. That'll be the first time we ever win that trophy. So, look, West Ham. Another thing about the West Ham game was obviously it was the last game where we had to play multiple games a week. Now it's basically a week between that and Burnley, and then a week again from between that and Palace, and then a week again between that and the Champions League. So we get a full week now between games to rest, which is the big thing because injuries are still proving to be a little bit of a problem for us. Ben White seems to be out for the rest of the season now, which is horrifically bad. He played brilliantly against Atletico Madrid, both legs, and then played brilliantly against West Ham as well, and he played brilliantly against Fulham as well. So he was on a 4-game really good streak, really good performance streak. And he's just out again. He's out for pretty much I think he's out till next pre-season. So gutted for him. He may have played his last game. I feel like Arsenal probably will keep him until next January. But I do feel like him and Jesus. So there are a couple of players that I think will go in the summer. With White being injured, that's been in jeopardy now, I think, in my opinion. But very gutted. And obviously Timber's still out. Timber's, I think, still fairly decently injured. I think Mikel Merino is on grass now. He's actually almost on the cup. He might be back for the Palace game as well as the Champions League, which is brilliant. We've missed Mikel Merino. I think Merino would have helped us out against Bournemouth, for example, and a couple of other results that haven't quite gone our way this season. But yeah, we're getting massive rest now between games, which is the big thing. That was the last thing we had to deal with West Ham. Multiple games, Champions League semi-final, and then going to West Ham is a little bit of a tough ask. But we managed to do it. Home at Burnley has to be a must-win. We have to go out there and really make a statement, score a whole bunch of goals, get that goal difference back up again, and then it's all about Palace after that, and then we'll see what happens. I think obviously Man City played the FA Cup final of the weekend, which is ludicrous. Why that's being held then when they could have just put it on the same day or same weekend as the Champions League final, but it is what it is. It used to be the last game of the season, but hey, what's traditions when you can just make money? And then I think they've got Bournemouth after that. I think Bournemouth's their next league game. That's the one. Because they got Villa in their last game of the season. Villa are going to capitulate. Unai Emery is going to bring out their U21 team because obviously they've got the Europa League final, I think, a couple of days later. They're going to annihilate Villa, but Bournemouth's the one that might just take some points off them. But look, to an extent, it doesn't really matter what City do at this point. It matters what we do. If we can win these last 2 games, then we've got the title. And that's all we got to concentrate, and that's all we got to think about. If we had drawn this game against West Ham, that would have been so much more complicated, so much more stressful. But we're in a little bit of a decent-ish position at the moment. We just got to capitalise and beat Burnley, and then just go to the last game. But let me know what you thought about the game. Did you watch the whole game? How many heads did you lose? Apparently, all my friends have gone grey now because of the stress it caused them. I fully expect Burnley to be a bit stressful, although being at home, I do feel like that's going to be slightly less stressful. And again, Palace away, but still, they're going to be thinking about their I keep saying Champions League, but their European final. So that could be a little bit less stressful. But I have to wait and see. But at the moment, it's all about Burnley. But let me know what you thought about the game. What do you think we could do against Burnley and Palace? How stressful did you find the game? Because apparently it was one for the ages. Big up to Trossard, by the way. I haven't really talked about Trossard. Brilliant goal. He has been a bit quiet this season. Having said goals and assist wise, has been a bit quiet this season. But the last few weeks, the last couple of months, he's really been stepping up his performance. He's nailed down that left wing spot position. Martinelli they were just sitting around for a while over Christmas period. Martinelli doing really well in the Champions League group stages. Trossard's nailed that spot now. He's done brilliantly. He's come up with a couple of assists, doing really well playing the game. So big credit to him. He's a bargain. He's one of the bargains of the century for Arsenal. He's done brilliantly, and he's got us one finger on that Premier League trophy. We just got to go and do the rest of the job now. So, yeah, let me know what you think about the team. Do you think we should stay with the same lineup? I think we go with the same lineup, but obviously Mascaro probably on right back. And yeah, let me know what team players you think should be playing that hasn't started. Yeah, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Try to enjoy the rest of your week. And yeah, I'll be back probably. I mean, the game's Tuesday morning, so I'll probably. I mean, I finish work Tuesday morning, so I'll probably do a video early hours, early Tuesday. So expect a video then, talk about the Burnley game. And then, yeah, we'll talk about the Palace game after that. So, anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy your weekend, and enjoy the moment as well. I'm trying to enjoy it. Obviously, it's stressful and it's kind of worrying, but at the same time, like, we've not been in this position for 20 years or so. On the cusp of Premier League glory and on the cusp of potentially European glory as well. So, I'm trying to enjoy the moment while it lasts. And whatever happens, happens. It's up to God, I guess. But yeah, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Adios.